Demon Slayer vs. Chainsaw Man. Two movies have been released in the same month of September 2025, and both movies have been amazing and artistic piece of work. I enjoyed watching both of these movies in the movie theaters on the big screen, and it was an amazing experience that I would never trade for anything else. So this is Dark Slayer and welcome back to BBS India. In today's video, I'm going to talk about both of these movies and which movie was the best as per my opinion. This video is about to be a critical review video. We are gonna go straight through the crux of this video topic because while there are some very awesome stuff, very positive stuff that I'm going to talk about both of these movies, we are going to drive straight into the bad stuff or the stuff that I didn't like about this particular movie and that particular movie. Surely you can find hundreds of people talking good things about the movies, but I want to get to the critical review and say this is what I don't like about this movie, and this is the stuff that I didn't like about this movie, and that is the reason why this particular movie is the better movie in my opinion. So let's start off with the $1 million movie Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, making a whooping profit of over 600 million. It has officially surpassed Superman, and it is over 615 or 660 million around that. And the budget of Demon Slayer is only 20 million, which is a very big achievement. However, when I actually went to the movie theaters and watched the movie, I was very hyped at the beginning. The Hashiras and Tanjiro were falling down, and they had a brief moment where everyone is trying to position themselves so that they don't crash out towards the bottom, and that was nice. However, when we go ahead a little bit and we start the matchups, the fight scenes, we first start off with Shinobu and versus the number 2 demon, and I have to say that I did not enjoy this fight whatsoever. It's not because Shinobu died, she died a dog's death in my opinion, but the problem here is that the fucking backstory. Shinobu's big sister died at the hands of number 2 demon. That in itself is not a big deal. However, the big deal, the deal breaker here is that they are trying to show this backstory without any context again and again and again. So when Shinobu meets this number 2 demon, she is reminded of her big sister. That in itself is okay. Then they show another flashback of Shinobu's sister, and suddenly Shinobu's sister is standing in front of her telling her, yes, you can do this, you promised to me that you will win, so get up and fight. And towards the end, Shinobu thinks that her big sister was trying to say during her last bet, that you wouldn't be able to defeat this demon anyway. So there is a lot of backstory without any context. The number 2 demon said that, okay, so you are the little sister of the Hashira who was using flowers. So we never saw an actual fight between Shinobu's big sister and the number 2 demon. All we saw is that the number 2 demon one-shotted Shinobu's sister, and she was then lying on the ground. The multiple backstories, the multiple time the big sister came in, ruined the entire fight for me. The fight was very brief, it was very brutal. It showed the helplessness of Hashira. However, the constant backstory without any constant ruined it for me completely. So Shinobu versus number 2 demon. I like the number 2 demon, by the way. His speech was very good. The way he says, you are so delicate, you are so weak, however you are doing all this, at the end it's pointless anyway. I was laughing my ass off, and as with the other people in theater as well. However, the constant, I think the Shinobu's big sister came in like 3 or at least 3 times without any contest. So if she was there just one time, that's enough. But multiple times seeing just same character and not getting to know about the character is particularly boring. If we had a fight scene between Shinobu's big sister and the number 2 demon, it would have been a better addition. Moving on, we have Zenitsu versus number 6 demon. Now, this matchup was very good. Zenitsu is generally Yeah, I won't say he's not a serious person. However, this time it was very serious, and here we have like two backstories. One from the number six demon's perspective, and another was a backstory from Zenith's perspective. However, this backstory wasn't that big of a deal. It was short and sweet, and I think this fight was done very, very well. I don't have any problems with this, so this was okay. Even though there were two backstories in between, it was a very, very good fight, and I have enjoyed it. Moving on, we get to the big fight. It is Giyu and Tanjiro versus Akaza. Akaza is the poster boy for this movie, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle 1. So here I have a bit of a problem. I understand that the backstory is required, and here we have like three, at least three backstories. One is when Giyu thinks that Tanjiro is now very, very strong. I remember the time that he was bowing down to me at the snow. We saw a brief movement from a season 1 as well, and a little bit of the last scene from Mugen Train. That is okay, I will give it a pass. Then we move on to Tanjiro getting his Ultra Instinct. There is a big backstory. However, I don't think that Studio Ufotable could possibly have, I mean, skip this backstory because it was very essential to finding Tanjiro his Ultra Instinct. They show a backstory of his father trying to explain things that you need to shut down one sense and completely use the sense that you actually require right now. That's how he achieves the transparent fighting speed zone, or in short the Ultra Instinct. But that was a little bit long backstory, and after that we also see Akaza speaking with this dojo person in between the fight. The problem with this fight scene is the fight scene in itself is very, very flashy, very, very awesome. However, I don't think that any of the fight scene lasted for more than 1.5 to 2 minutes. I could not even get entertained for 2 minutes. Whenever the fight is just getting good, I'm enjoying. Flashback, flashback, and flashback. They move into a fucking flashback. They couldn't just sit there and fight for at least 5 minutes. They barely fight continuously. I'm saying continuously for more than 1.5 to 2 minutes. Then we have Akasa's backstory. Now, I really, 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 really do like Akasa's backstory. I love Koyuki. She deserved everything good. I love that interaction when Akaza is taking care of Koyuki. Their love story is very, very, very cute. It's very beautiful. I had butterflies in my heart. However, by the point that we get to Akaza's backstory, the problem is that we have been through for like at least four plus backstories at that point. So it does feel a little bit jarring to watch another backstory. Even if Akasa's backstory was very well written, I have no problem with it. By the time we get to Akasa's backstory, it just feels a bit repetitive for me. So Demon Slayer in itself is very, very good. It's very successful, but for me it feels like a mashup of lots of backstories and lots of fight jammed up together. It felt a bit rushed to me. It's like they are showing a lot of content and they are putting it in between the fight scenes, or it was a misplaced backstory for some times in my, not entirely, but some backstories were, well, felt like it was misplaced in my opinion. That's how I felt. It was like a lot of things was compiled into one jam-packed movie. I think the movie could have been extended for a bit like more 30 minutes, or at least 15 minutes. That could have made it better. So all in all, I felt like I was watching a lot of episodes compiled together into one movie. That's how I would tell you towards the end, because it didn't feel, it has a good animation. It's studio ufotable. They did the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. Their animation is quality is really good, but in terms of a movie experience, it felt like a more of a comparison episode rather than an entire movie. So that's how I feel about Demon Slayer. Up next, we are gonna talk about Chainsaw Man, the Rise arc. I watched Demon Slayer on Saturday and Chainsaw Man on Sunday, so it's back to back. Therefore, I wanna get this video out there while it is still very, very fresh in mind. Today is Monday. So about Chainsaw Man. About Chainsaw Man, I don't think I have anything negative to say about it other than the fact that it is an artistic piece of work. It is a masterpiece. If there is anything that I wanna bitch about, I would say that the starting half was a bit slow. However, it was giving context to Denji. We had a little bit of a romance that was also very good. I felt very warm in my heart watching Denji and Reze going out together, just having fun and having a blast. Denji have never experienced this, but for some of the folks it might be like the first half or the part little bit prior to intermission was a bit slow. It is just them talking and having fun, so it was a bit slow for most of the people. And secondly, Chainsaw Man does not have a much more timings as compared to Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer had more timing on the release, but Chainsaw Man only had a few timings in the release. And Chainsaw Man is an 18 plus movie. Yes, it is an 18 plus movie, so not everyone has access to this awesome masterpiece. Oh, you have to be 18 plus, which in my opinion is working as an advantage and a disadvantage. Chainsaw Man has a lot of stuff, man. And the other thing I would say that it was bad, I would say it was a runtime. The runtime is as per a normal movie like 1 hour 40 minutes or 1 hour 45 minutes. So the starting half was a bit lackluster, or it was focused on romance. The people who are into romance or slice of life would have no problem. I particularly have no problem with the first half. Second is 18 plus. I'm 25, so it's not a big deal for me, but whoever are below 18 might have a problem watching this movie. And third is the run time. Other than that, I don't find any problem in this movie whatsoever. The first half we have good storyline and there is no fucking backstory in between fights. And when we do get to the fight, it is awesome. It is continuously action for more than like 30 minutes. However, after the intermission, it was just action and action. We are getting introduced to Tornado. We have a full blown fight scene between Chainsaw Man and the Bomb Devil. They are fighting across all over the city. It was a Dragon Ball level of fight scene and it was just amazing. So Chainsaw Man had everything. It has comedy, it has romance, it has continuous action without any backstory. So Chainsaw Man has it all. And when it comes to being a movie experience, we have a slight slow opening. We get to know the new characters, and then we get on to the big fight. So it does have that movie vibe going on compared to the Demon Slayer, which felt like a rushed compilation of episodes put together. So here in this case, even though Demon Slayer had made tons of money, it for a better or far for worst, Demon Slayer represents anime all over the internet. But for me, the if you ask me which was the better movie, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle or Chainsaw Man, I would say 120% without a single shred of doubt in my mind that Chainsaw Man was the better movie out of both of them, because Chainsaw Man had everything that I want to experience. It didn't feel jarring, it didn't feel boring at certain parts. Then there is no backstory. It was fun, it has romance and comedy into it, which makes it a bit more entertaining. And the fight scene, even though Studio Ufotable had a very good fight sequence, it was very flashy in Demon Slayer. While Chainsaw Man had a very better approach, I would say it was more of an artistic approach. The fight scenes were not just flashy animation with big titles, like they are saying some big names, they're throwing around the name of the attack, which is very big. In Demon Slayer, it is like, whoa, what do you have? Hinokami, Kagura, and various forms for it. Chainsaw Man was simplistically just hitting each other over and over. No big attack names. I do like attack names, but in Chainsaw Man, it was very awesome to watch. And the actual choreography, I have to say, goes to Chainsaw Man. The way in the they were fighting. Sorry, I'm getting started because I'm thinking about Reze versus Chainsaw Man. The way they fought was awesome, awesome. The Studio Mappa depicted their fight in such a way that I just have to say it is an masterpiece. It is artistic work. The choreography was totally insane and insane. I enjoyed watching every last second of Chainsaw Man. So by this, I conclude that Chainsaw Man was the better movie out of both. It was not even a competition. Chainsaw Man was full of craziness and chaos, romance, funny. It was just an awesome blend of everything that you would want to see in a movie. By this, I'm not saying that Demon Slayer is a bad movie or it's not worth watching. I do like Demon Slayer, but this video is about a critical review. Somebody has to talk about this, so I am the person who's gonna talk about what is bad about this particular movie and how Chainsaw Man should get more recognition than it deserves. Chainsaw Man movie was an artistic piece of work. If you're thinking about whether I should watch Chainsaw Man or not, then you should definitely run to the theaters right now and watch this artistic masterpiece of a movie. You will never regret watching Chainsaw Man. It is just amazing, and I would, if possible, I would like to go for it again because I love Chainsaw Man the movie. Rezeak, it was awesome. So that's it for today's video, my guys. This was a different video. This is my first time comparing two anime movies because it's just fun doing this. And in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on this. Did you like this movie, both of this movie, Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man? Did you get to watch both of this movie? If you watched, what do you think about which is a better movie? Do you think that Demon Slayer is better, or do you think that Chainsaw Man is better? Do you agree with what I said? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye and peace.